Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us here today. I would like to first welcome and acknowledge some of our officials who are here with us today and have joined us for this exciting announcement. So we have our Senators Ben Cardin and Chris Van Hollen here. We have our Congressman from the 6th District, David Trone, as well as our Fire Chief, the Director of our Division of Fire Rescue Services here in Frederick County, Tom Coe. And representing our IFF Local Chapter 3666 is Vice President Billy Rosamondo. Thanks, Billy. Thank you all for your continued support in moving Frederick County forward and your commitment to making sure that we have a wonderful and safe community for all of our residents. Today, alongside these critical partners, I am sharing the exciting news that Frederick County has been awarded a federal grant of over $9.7 million through the U.S. Department of Homeland Security's Staffing for Adequate Fire and Emergency Response Program, known as the SAFER Grant. This is big. This award is the largest allocated to a Maryland fire service to date this year and will be dedicated to hiring additional firefighters for our Division of Fire and Rescue Services and increase our crew size. I want to thank our federal delegation for their incredible partnership and advocacy on behalf of Frederick County. And we all get the opportunity to see each other pretty often. And what we always say is that we are Team Frederick and Team Maryland. It is really an honor of mine that I get to have so many opportunities to highlight the incredible partnerships that we have here in Frederick County, and being able to have these amazing relationships with our municipal, county, state, and federal partners is huge. And it's a big part of why we can celebrate days like today. I would also like to thank and acknowledge Sarah Laird, the wife of Battalion Chief Josh Laird, who was tragically lost in a structure fire here in Frederick County in 2021. You will hear today from Fire Chief Tom Coe about how the SAFER Grant will enable us to implement key staffing recommendations from the After Action Report and Improvement Plan from the line of duty death of Battalion Chief Laird. Thank you so much for being here today, Sarah, and for all of the work that you do on behalf of fire and rescue service members everywhere. The SAFER Grant was created by Congress to assist local fire departments with staffing and deployment capacity, because we know that adequately staffed crews can save lives and improve the safety of our communities. It's now my pleasure to welcome Senator Ben Cardin to offer some remarks.
First, to County Exec Fitzwater, I hope you heard what she said. $9.8 million, the largest grant in Maryland this year, and your county exec has led the effort to make that a reality. Congratulations. Well done to our county exec. And Senator Van Hollen and I represent the whole state, but we seem to be spending a lot of time in Frederick County because there's a lot of good things happening, a lot of money coming to Frederick County. Madam County Exec, you're doing a great job. We love you, and we thank you very much for your incredible work. And to David Trone, who's been the workhorse to keep us engaged, he has been so actively engaged in all parts of his congressional district. I'll talk a little bit about Team Maryland, because I think it's important that you understand that the three of us work together, which is not always the case on Capitol Hill. We work together to bring as much partnerships and resources to the people of Maryland that we possibly can. And when you look at the results, Maryland's punching way above its weight because we work together. $9.8 million in the SAFER's grant. That's incredible. Chief Coe, these are competitive funds. They're not easy to get. You won this award because of the work that you have done and what your workforce has done, our first responders. Congratulations to all of you, and to those in Local 366, Billy, congratulations to all of you for pulling together, because you couldn't do it. As the county exec said, it really is Team Frederick, it's Team Maryland that is bringing all this together. You hear this frequently, our love and respect and support for our first responders. You know, it wasn't too a couple days or a week ago we commemorated 9/11. And we recognized what our first responders did on that day, sacrificing their lives to save others. Our first responders do that all the time. Josh Laird lost his life trying to help others. We can't do enough to show our appreciation. And yes, by words, important. It's important that we acknowledge what you do every day to keep us safe. We run away from danger, you run to danger. And we have to keep on reminding what our heroes are doing for us. But it's also by our actions, where we sow our priorities. And quite frankly, the way we allocate taxpayer dollars shows priorities. That shows who we think is important. So we are very, very proud of the SAFER grants and AFG grants that provide funds to our fire departments so they can have adequate personnel in order to be able to meet the ever-growing challenges that we have in our community. And over the last 15 years, Maryland's received about $150 million under these two grant programs, which has made a huge difference. Quite frankly, I think Frederick County's got the largest proportion of that. I don't know how that happened, Jessica, but again, we congratulate you on this. But I just really want to underscore my two partners here. They both happen to serve on the Appropriations Committee. That's the committee that makes the decisions on our funding priorities. Both have been leaders in helping our firefighters. In fact, the Maryland Congressional Delegation has made support for our firefighters a huge part of our priority. And that's why when hard budget decisions are being made, we work to get more funds, not just protect what's there now, but to get more funds in order to continue and grow the partnership so that you can have adequate personnel. And as I talked to the chief, we also like to see the facilities that are kept up to date. That's why Senator Van Hollen and I in the Senate and Congressman Trone in the House is supporting the Fire Station Act that would provide a partnership where we can help with bricks and mortar, because we really need to develop that issue. And we're proud that in the Senate we've taken up the Fire Grant Safety Act that would authorize the SAFER and AFG through 2030. We are working to make this a reality. Team Maryland's working. This is our priority. So I just really wanted you to know that. This is an exciting place to be. It's Friday afternoon. Thank you for scheduling us today rather than tomorrow. You're going to be busy tomorrow, I'm afraid. So we appreciate that, because I know you'll be helping other areas if they need help, and we hope that we'll all be spared. But we know that if we need you, you'll be there. And we say our thanks by our words and by our deeds. My partner in the United States Senate that makes this a reality is Chris Van Hollen. I can tell you how many times he's been in my office to tell me about another area that we can help our firefighters in this country. It has been one of his top priorities in the United States Senate. He's been very effective in getting the appropriations that we need. We couldn't be announcing this grant unless we had the money to make these grants possible. In the United States Senate, the person that does that is Senator Chris Van Hollen.
Well, thank you, Ben. And it is great to be here in Frederick with all of you. It's especially good to be in Frederick to thank and salute our firefighters and first responders. And as Senator Cardin said, not just express gratitude, but be here to be able to announce actual resources to help expand and strengthen the safety of all the folks who put their lives at risk every single day for the rest of us in our community, those who are engaged in this life-saving mission. And it is a team effort in Frederick County. First and foremost, of course, all the firefighters, and I want to thank VP Rasamando, Billy, thank you for you and your member teams at IAFF 3666. To the career and the volunteer firefighters, all of the men and women who are out there on the front lines providing emergency services, thank you. Chief Coe, thank you very much for your incredible leadership at the helm of the team that makes sure that you do everything in your power to provide safety to the people of this community. And of course, to County Executive Fitzwater, it has been great to work with you during your period of time on the council and now as county executive. And if there's one thing that has remained the same when you were on the council and county executive, it's been your commitment to delivering for the people of Frederick County. So thank you very much to you and your efforts with the members of the council as well. Look, I do want to acknowledge, as Senator Cardin did, that at the federal level, this is a team effort. It's a real partnership. And to David Trone, Congressman Trone, who serves on the Appropriations Committee, he is always very focused on delivering for this congressional district and really focusing on areas including, of course, public safety. So, David, thank you for your leadership. And to our senior senator, who, as you know, announced his retirement, but he's not taking a day off. As you can see, he's running hard through the finish line, and we're going to make sure we recruit him for continued service after that. Ben Cardin, thank you very much for really heading up the team and Team Maryland. And you're seeing the results today, which is we do believe that we have a duty, to support those who are putting their lives at risk for the rest of us. And as the county executive acknowledged and Senator Cardin acknowledged, we lost one of our heroes 2 years ago, Captain Josh Laird, who died in the line of duty, fighting the flames, helping his fellow firefighters. And Sarah, we are honored that you're joining us today. We're honored that you work every day to keep the legacy of Josh alive and to support his fellow firefighters who are working so hard. We know that being part of a firefighter's family requires family risk and sacrifice. And so again, I want to acknowledge you for your efforts to make sure that we continue to deliver for those who are putting themselves first in Frederick County. Thank you very much, Sarah. And as the county executive mentioned, the resources that are coming as part of the SAFER grant here are part of the result of the study that was done after we lost Captain Josh Laird. And I think the chief's going to talk a little bit more about this, but how by recruiting more firefighters, having bigger teams, that can help increase the safety in what is always a dangerous situation, but make it a little more safe for those who are going in to fight these fires or responding to emergencies. And that's what this $9.7 million SAFER grant is all about. It is on top of other grants that have come to Frederick County over time. In fact, since 2016, there have been about $35 million in SAFER grants being delivered to Frederick County, and I think probably is one of the highest in the state. And I just want to close by emphasizing the fact that you're all a testament to the importance of continuing these programs. So in Congress, we have authorizations for programs, meaning passing the law that says a program can continue, and then we have the annual funding process for these programs. The authorization for the SAFER program and the other programs are expiring. And we in the Senate, on a bipartisan basis, have already reauthorized that funding. And we in the Senate, on a bipartisan basis, have already provided the resources, the annual resources next year to at least match the resources this year. And I know David Trone is also very much in favor of extending the authorization and matching, at least matching the resources for these programs in the upcoming budget that we put in for this year. As you can probably tell from reading the papers, he's having a little trouble convincing his colleagues at this moment to get that done. We're hoping that all that happens in the House in the coming days, and I know David Trone is going to work to make that happen. But it's just it's an example of how this is not only a one-time effort, it's an ongoing effort. And we need to maintain support in Congress for this. And it's all of you on the front lines by showing us and our colleagues what you do with these resources to help save lives that gives us the argument and the power to continue to push it. So thank all of you, all of our first responders. We are eternally grateful to you, and we are here today to say grateful not just in words, but also trying to make sure we provide a backup for those efforts. So with that, let me thank you, and let me turn it over to David Trone, who, as Senator Cardin and I both said, is working every day to try to improve and strengthen public safety in the great county of Frederick. David Trone.
Thanks, everybody, for being here today. It's good to be back in Frederick County. We're here in and out all the time, and most importantly, to get stuff done, it's all about leadership. And that's what Frederick County has had, just tremendous leadership. So I just can't thank Jessica Fitzwater for her leadership here as county executive in Frederick County. That's why stuff happens here. And as Senator Van Hollen said, his number was 2016, how many millions have come. My number is 2020. It's $24 million has come in SAFER grants to Frederick County, and that is the most in the state. So, I mean, Frederick County is knocking it out of the park, but the key is it's Team Maryland, it's Team Frederick, and it's team with our folks sitting right here at the dais, the folks in the union, the chief, us together, working together, showing the needs, documenting the needs, and then going together to get a program together and an ask so we can execute on that ask. Without your leadership, it wouldn't happen. So I really want to thank you folks on the left side of the dais here. Thank you. The other thing I want to mention is, as Senator Cardin said, it's, you know, we're running away from danger and they're running to danger. And I was at a firefighter's funeral this week in Alexandria on Tuesday. There was a close friend of our family, a young man that perished at age 26 on the way home from work and just simply fell asleep. And again, I was reminded of the solidarity of the community and how the support was there with all the members. Literally, it must have been 1,000 members, you know, lined up, just as it was when Chief Laird, you know, fell. 2 years ago, we were all at that funeral, and we saw the tremendous love and support for the family, and the love each members have for each other, all the firefighters for each other. It's in the firehouse, and we saw that in Alexandria, and we saw that, of course, here in Frederick. And we just want to thank you, Sarah, for all your continuing work to help make it safer for generations and generations. And you can absolutely count on the three federal members of the delegation here to be there to support the firemen every day, always. I mean, you guys make it so much better for us. You know, there's 4,000 structures estimated will actually be affected by a wildfire over the next 30 years in Frederick County. That's 16% of every property in Frederick County will be affected by a wildfire. So there's a lot of action, a lot of need, and a lot of investment need that we need to continue to do to support Frederick County, because the county budget can't do it alone. We've got to provide more money here for firefighters with SAFER grants, more money for our schools with education grants, like the $3 billion President Biden has provided for mental health that's going to our K through 12, and the bipartisan Safer Communities Act. So those are areas the Fed has got to step up to help support the county and all be partners together. So thanks for having us here today, and congratulations. You guys earned it. Chief, you're up.
Thank you so much to all three of you for your words. And I really appreciate all of you also acknowledging that it's beyond words and that it is actions. And I know that we have a lot of folks here that are from Frederick County, but others that may be from outside of the county. And I really cannot emphasize enough how much it matters to have a federal delegation like this, because they show up when it matters. It is never just words from them. It is always action, and that is everything from the resources that they bring back to showing up when we're in times of crisis, to showing up when we're in times of celebration, to having excellent staff that communicates with us, that is responsive to the needs of our residents. All of that really matters, and we know how lucky we are to have you all as partners. So thank you for always showing up. And Senator Cardin said this is a competitive grant. So this was not just, you know, a couple of boxes to check and then put it in the mail. This is a lot of work for our chief, for his team, and so it speaks volumes to the work that you all do every day, that we can tell Frederick County's story and that we earned these funds and that we had champions in our delegation to help bring it home. So it's incredible, and we're so grateful to have a leader like Chief Coe who helps to make these things happen. So Chief, please come on up.
Thank you, County Executive Fitzwater. Good afternoon. I'd like to welcome the members of our federal delegation as well as our Frederick County officials to the Northgate Fire Station to share in this exciting news that will make Frederick County a safer place to work, live, and thrive. I'd like to also join our federal partners and county executive in welcoming Sarah Laird. It's truly a privilege and honor to have Sarah with us as she continues to partner on advocacy at both the local, state, and national level for firefighter safety. Additionally, I'd like to thank our partners in the Emergency Management Office and specifically their grants management team, who have worked so hard hand in hand with our division that led to the success of this SAFER grant application. As mentioned by the county executive, the award of this $9.7 million SAFER grant will provide 3 years of funding for 32 additional firefighters. This represents the second phase of a 3-step plan to transition from 3 to 4-person staffing on our fire suppression units. The National Institute of Standards and Technology conducted an intensive report on the number of firefighters needed to conduct effective fireground activities. This study, titled the Report on Fireground Field Experiments, documented more than 60 live fire experiments where 22 fireground tasks were uniformly performed by firefighters of different crew sizes. The report concluded that 4-person crews performed those 22 tasks 5.1 minutes, or 25% faster than 3-person crews. In our business, time can mean the difference between life and death, and 4-person staffing is scientifically proven to perform more efficiently in critical tasks like search and rescue and putting water on the fire. More efficient firegrounds mean safer firegrounds for the citizens we serve, as well as the firefighters who are working to save those citizens on the scene. The award of this grant assists the Frederick County Division of Fire and Rescue Services with compliance with national consensus standards published by the National Fire Protection Association and directly addresses staffing recommendations that were made in the after-action report and improvement plan for the August 11, 2001 structure fire in Imesville that claimed the life of Battalion Chief Josh Laird. On behalf of all the members of the Frederick County Fire Service, I would like to extend our gratitude to Senators Cardin, Senators Van Hollen, Congressman Trone, and our County Executive Fitzwater, for their strong support of our SAFER grant application. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Coe. Finally, joining us is IFFF Local 3666 Vice President Billy Rossamondo, and I'll just mention I'm going to be spending some time with him and some of his members in a couple of weeks doing Fire Ops 101 training. And as an educator, I've spent lots of time in the classroom, and I know what it feels like to be there and how our decisions impact our schools. I think it's equally important for all of us in leadership to understand that about all the different facets of county government, and I'm looking forward to our training day so we can really get a deeper sense of what our folks are doing every day. So, Billy, come on up.
Good afternoon. Thank you for the opportunity to offer a few comments on behalf of the current 550 career firefighters and paramedics who serve Frederick County. I am proud to be here and acknowledge the work that has been done to provide a safer Frederick County. Thank you to everyone who had a role in this success, particularly our federal delegation for your continued commitment to funding public safety improvements in Frederick County. Last week, our members traveled to Colorado Springs to memorialize the loss of Battalion Chief Josh Laird. Losing Josh has been impossibly hard for our brothers and sisters, yet we find strength in our efforts to make improvements for those who will serve for decades to come. Over the last year, many here today have diligently worked to implement the recommendations within the Line of Duty Death Report. On behalf of the IFF Local 3666, thank you for this ongoing work. Thank you to County Executive Fitzwater and her team for her ongoing commitment to public safety in implementing these recommendations. We see today's announcement of funding as one more example of the county executive's work to partner with her career firefighters and increase our staffing levels to meet the national standard for staffing fire apparatus. This funding announced today will enable Frederick County to strengthen our fire service and make our communities safer for the residents that we serve. I want to again thank you for the opportunity to be here personally and convey how this investment will benefit Frederick County and the men and women on the front lines every day. And County Executive Fitzwater, we look forward to seeing you on October 21st. Thank you.
Well, thank you everyone again for being here. One last thank you to our federal partners. And every day is a great day in Frederick County, but it's a particularly good day when we have wonderful news like this to share so that we can continue to make life better for people and build those relationships that are going to continue to add to our bright future. So thank you again for being here, everyone. Oh, and we got a big check.